Yo, what's good, everybody? It's me, it's your boy Nes, and I'm here to give you my midweek market review. So let's get to it. Well, first and foremost, we see that Bitcoin has returned to 95,000. It definitely took a low blow. All right, not too long ago, it definitely took a low blow. It dropped for a minute, and it was after it tested this high. The market came back. It tried to test the high again, and it was a hard rejection, coming right back down. But once it tested this level over here, okay, it started to come back up. It tested it again, and it was a rejection. The market just continued to come back up, right? And right now, it's consolidating right in the 90,000s area. Okay, so last I checked, it hit 95K, it dropped back down to 94. But the fact that it's dancing around this area is a really, 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 really good sign. And what do we see over here with Doge, with some of the other cryptocurrencies that I'm comparing Bitcoin to right now? You could see gains on Solana, 8.50%, 8.5%. Doge took a small hit, negative 2%. XRP and Ethereum, took some light hits. But Bitcoin is basically the Don Corleone of cryptocurrency. So when Bitcoin is performing well, okay, a lot of the altcoins are going to do the same thing, okay? For the most part, not every altcoin, but some of it. All right. So there's some direct correlation to that. Now, based on the foundations that are growing, okay, I do know that when I look at Solana, when I look at XRP, all right, I see big futures in that. Of course, Doge as well, and ETH too. So if you aren't investing in crypto, you definitely should be having some holdings in crypto. We actually put a project together for a Solana fund, me and my good friend Carlos, and also Mr. Rogers as well. We have definitely some cool stuff cooking up with Solana. So, if you want more information on that, make sure you shoot me a DM. I'll get you some more information on that for the crypto lovers. Okay. All right. Now, when we go back into these charts, let's take a look at what's happening in the markets right now. Let's take a look at some of these, different companies as well, especially since there's been there's even more tariff talks going on right now, and the markets are reacting. So stirring up the market. It's been stirring up the market, okay, even before Trump's presidency. But let's go on ahead and let's take a look at what's happening over here. So what I'm looking at right now is I'm looking at Tesla. I'm seeing how Tesla is performing right now. All right, and as you can see, reached this point. This was around December. This was in December 2024. All right. Here's the high that it hit, and then it went for a nosedive. So it's been downtrending. All right. And you can tell it's been downtrending. It's been attempting to, come back up, but it's just facing rejection after rejection. It is dropping, further and further down. However, when we get to this point right over here, this is a hard support. So it's having a tough time breaking below it. If it does break below it, that's pretty alarming, considering Tesla is absolutely absolute powerhouse in the U.S. tech industry. So that would be crazy if this went for a nosedive even further. But here's the floor of it. Okay, here's the support area of it, and we can see that between last week and this week, it's been rallying. Okay, so it's pumping back up, and it's basically testing this high. Once it breaks this high, if it breaks this high, it's going to continue to rally up until it tests a new ceiling. Okay, a new layer of resistance. Okay, so this is what we can see with Tesla, and for everybody that trades whether you're trading futures, stock options, if you trade indices, etc. We're all watching, what's going on in the markets. Every time there's new policy changes that could affect worldwide business, it's going to affect different companies, and then that basically goes into affecting indices, and that goes into affecting a currency's value as well. So this is all tied together. It's all interrelated for the most part. All right. We do see this rally. It is coming up. As you can see, Tesla is 25% up right now. As we can see, there are other companies, all right, trailing right behind it. Now, this week specifically, Apple had a little bit of a rise. You can see some of these in here. So Nvidia has been rising a little bit. You have Pfizer as well. Shaw, you can see this week, is pretty much up. For a while, these have been consolidating for the most part as far as their growth percentage is concerned. And then it started to slightly go down a little bit, and then it started to hit some lows. And you can see these, all these nosedives over here, policies affecting the market, consolidating some more, but now it looks like it's starting to turn around a little bit, right? That's what it appears, right? So let's peel some more layers back, and let's see what's the deal. In other markets. Okay, so let's go in here. Let me erase this. Okay. All right. So where are we at? All right. So we covered crypto. We covered basically stocks right now. Let's go into indices. All right. Important stuff. Let's go back. All right. Okay. So now when we are taking a look at the indices, we know that between US 30 Nas 100, SPX 500, we know there's some correlation there, and you clearly see based on how it's kind of moving together, right? So what I have highlighted in the purple line is Nas 100, and what I have highlighted in the pink line, I think it's pink, it is SPX 500, okay? And we have US 30, which is currently on the candles right now. So you can see that there's strong correlation there, okay? Look at this doji right over here. Okay, so usually when that happens, that's definitely a sign that the market is pumping the brakes. So this was trending down. All right, the market started to pump the brakes right over here. It tested this low. It closed over here. It created a doji. All right, so whenever you see a doji in the market, that's indecision for the most part. And then we see the candle right after it. All right, the bearish candle right after it. Close over here, open over here. Here's the high. Here's the low. And next thing you know, here is a strong bullish candle right over here. Okay, see the strong bullish candle right over here. All right, basically creating that high. All right, creating that high right now. All right, and what we see over here is the market came back down. All right, hit the floor, started to come back up, and now here's a slight push up, and that's this week. Right, so from here, this is Monday's high, this is Monday's low. What we can see over here is on Tuesday, it actually broke above Monday's high. It closed above Monday's high. And when this started, it started right over here. It came down, and look at the wick. It came all the way over here. So Wednesday's low, all right, went below Monday's low, all right? And so anybody that would have been trading on panic mode probably would have took it for a sell and got wiped out. This right here is an absolute liquidity grab right there, all right? So that's money, all right? That's money for the top dog players, okay, for the financial institutions. But as you can see right now, the market is still currently active, and we got to see how this closes. If this closes above Monday's high, that is a good sign. But with what appears to be a turnaround with some of the top tech companies, I can see that this will probably close above Monday's high. All right, so I would be looking for some buy opportunities on US 30, Nas 100, and SPX 500. All right, so definitely take some analysis on that. Look out for opportunities on that. And look, I'm on a daily charts right now. I'm not even really doing a deep dive on this stuff. It's just basically giving you in a review for the midweek. Okay. Now let's go a little further in here. All right. Let's go and take a look at the dollar's overall performance. Let's take a look at the dollar's overall performance. Okay. All right, so here we are. All right, and what you see on the candles, basically we're looking at gold right now. All right, this golden line over here is Bitcoin. So we can see that there, and the blue line is the US dollar. All right, for the most part, okay. So we see that the dollar is negative 5% of where it was. Gold is definitely in a rally. We knew gold was eventually going to hit 3K, and then it hit 3,500. So all eyes on gold right now. So whenever the dollar drops, all right, when USD drops, usually gold picks up. Okay. So there's a negative correlation there. But we see how Bitcoin is just roaring, right? Bitcoin took a step back for a little bit, and it came roaring back into the 90,000s area. So when we take a look at Bitcoin, all right, hold on right here. Make sure I kind of box this in together. All right, so when we take a look at Bitcoin hit 95,000. All right, right now I believe is sitting at 94,000. Last time I checked, Coin Market Cap, which is just a few moments ago. So it's sitting around the 90,000s area. This is a good sign for Bitcoin. Alternative coins will follow after that, and I showed you guys that on the comparison chart over here. But with these tech companies turn around, and it seems like these indices are about to pick back up, we can expect the dollar to go on a rally pretty soon. Okay. The way it works in the markets is supply and demand, right? The market's going to touch the ceiling and drop. All right. The market's going to touch the floor and jump. All right. That's how it is. Now, when it starts to break ceilings and floors, it's going to continue going in that trend until it tests another support or another resistance. So we all got to keep, a lot of this, in mind, and truly understand what's going on. So let's take a look at the inflation data. Okay. So as we take a look at the inflation data, we see a month ago, inflation was at 1.76%, dropped down over here to 1.22%. It's back up to 1.57%. And it's the tariff stuff and the trade wars that we currently are engaging in. So, a lot of that creates panic in the market. Okay. Fear versus greed. So there's a lot of fear going on in the markets, but honestly, it's starting to neutralize, a little bit. Still a great improvement compared to where the dollar was in 2020. But January 2020, inflation is 27.45%. Absolutely despicable. So that is crazy. So in an attempt to bring a lot of this stuff down, in no reality, to bring a lot of this stuff down, it's not going to be an easy job. There's going to have to be some setbacks for a setup for a comeback, but for the most part, United States is incorporated. It is a business. So we have to make sure that we stand on business with the rest of the world to keep everything nice and strong, to keep everything flowing, because the rest of the world, since a lot of the world trade going on is done on the US dollar, what we do matters to all entrepreneurs and investors around the world that could participate in the markets that we are in. So definitely something to look out for, and hopefully, y'all learned something. This week, you can see the color shades over here on the heat map as we take a look at the crypto coins and whatnot. You can take a deep dive in all this. Heat maps are always a good thing. And you can find opportunity anywhere, right? You can see what the major stuff is doing. There's also, lots of opportunity currently going on. So if you have no idea where to look for, whether it is indices, stocks, crypto, whatever, make sure you holler at us, so we can put you on game. We can really put you on game. Also, ETFs is booming right now on all levels, because there are new ETFs being created based on Bitcoin, based on Ethereum, based on other stuff as well. And I did mention the Solana fund, the Solana project that we are working on. So you definitely want to take a look at that. And so if you know nothing about the markets, or if you have some knowledge of the markets, or even if you're advanced in the markets, come holler at us. We have a program. We have a great mentorship program. And if you already feel that you're a guru, I guarantee you don't have the tools that we have. So make sure you go on ahead and send a message. Follow the prompts if you see some prompts on my page. Actually, click the link on my bio if you want. But reach out. All right, closed mouths don't get fed, and there's a lot of bread to collect in the market. All right, so prepare yourself, position yourself to get in on these gains. All right, position yourself to get in on these gains. With that said, it's your boy Nes, and that is my midweek market review. Peace out.